So I feel like a regular YouTuber. I've been talking for 5 minutes and I wasn't recording. So anyways, we're doing Mike's bread recipe. That it makes 2 loaves of bread, but he only needs 1 loaf. So we're going to do 1 loaf of bread, and we're going to do the rest into buns. So in my bowl right here, I have my yeast, sugar, and warm water, and it's just about ready to go. But get this, there we go. Now you can see the butter is melting. It says you can use shortening, but I don't use shortening. I don't use lard. Although maybe someday I will. So today's menu is going to be, we're making ham loaf, and we're making these buns. Because we'll probably have stuff for sandwiches from the ham loaf. I've got leftover chicken in the refrigerator. So we need buns, and I don't have any. Okay, so I'm trying to do this a little better and not have it so close that you can't see what's going on. So this stuff is ready to go. This pan is hot. Can you get me, well here, just put this over here. There we go, yeah. I still want to sit on anything hot.
Yeah.
So, I like to put my eggs in another container besides the one I'm going into, because you never know when you're going to get a bad egg. Bad eggs happen. I've cracked thousands of eggs, and trust me, they do happen. Now it wants a tablespoon of salt. However, I'm just going to have that ready. I guess I'll put the recipe, so I'm trying, there we go, I'm trying not to get so close that you see me. So, here's a 1/4 cup of flour. I don't like to put the salt in right on the yeast. Some people say it could kill it. I don't really know. 1. 2. 3. Now I'm going to put my salt in. 4. 5. And 6. There, I think I'm doing that pretty good. Now, I'm going to pour my butter in. Get a little hole right there. Get this on KitchenAid. Towel behind you, a towel behind you, a towel, cute.
Yeah.
Gotta have helpers. So I like to cover this up because sometimes you put that much flour in, it can go poof. It's all over the damn. Alright, so let's get this in here so we can see it. One of my pet peeves is when people do bread recipes, they never say whether they scoop and into the 1 cup measurement or they dip. So you can see right here that that's a pretty liquidy mess. Turn it up a little bit, get it mixed in. The butter and egg combination make this a beautiful recipe. So now I'm going to put in number 6. And I have a feeling I might have to put in more. And this is why I put a towel over it so I don't get flour everywhere. That's looking pretty good, but I can tell. So it's really moist in the air today. It got about 35 to 40% humidity, which messes with your your bread dough. And sometimes you just got to stand here and watch it. Turn it up a little bit. It's supposed to be a, 7 minutes you have to let it knead. It's really kind of a wet dough. It's not a heavy dough. Cups of water to 6 1/4 cups of flour, plus moisture of 1/2 cup of butter. It is definitely creating some gluten in there. But I want to put some more flour in. That's just me. Years of making dough. These buns freeze nicely after I get done baking them. And I cool them down and I put them in the freezer. And you bring them out and you slice them and stick them like in the toaster oven for about 10-15 seconds. Oh. I don't have a microwave, so I don't know what they would do in the microwave other than probably be mushy. My microwave broke, I don't know, probably 15 years ago, and by the time Mike had walked it out to the trash can and walked back in, I had the shelf completely filled up with other stuff. And I've never looked back. You really don't need a microwave. Well, I warm stuff up in it. Well, you got a stove and you got a skillet or a pot. Warm it up on the stove. It's easy. You just got to kind of pay attention to what you're doing. Or better yet, save your foods in glass containers or stainless steel containers. Get a toaster oven and stick them in the toaster oven and warm them up. I mean, there's so many other things you can use besides a microwave. You don't need a microwave. think if I was buying a house, I'd tell the contractor or the real estate agent, I'm only buying it if that microwave gets taken out of there. It's always above the stove. You don't need it. Okay, I think we're done. See, it's still wet, but it's more together. So there we are. And see, when I touch it, it's not, it's just a little wet. So, this here is my bread dough and my bun dough. Get it all off of here. It's pretty sticky dough, but makes great buns. Makes great bread. Mike likes it. Don't you, Mike?
What's that? Yeah.
Like your bread?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. That's done. Covered up with the cloth. And let it sit. It says for about 30 minutes. So we'll be back in 30 minutes. Okay, so here is the dough. It has risen. And like I said, it is a wet dough. So you're either going to get your hands wet, have water next to you, or you're going to have flour. And Mike is going to have to get his scale so we can figure out how much he's going in for his bread. There we go. I'll get this all somewhat put together into a ball so we can cut it. Yeah. There we go. Alright. So we know that you usually take 2 loaves. So put your scale down somewhere here.
Okay.
Turn it on, please. Okay. So here's your first one. 1.14.
14.
Okay, yeah. 1.12.
Yep.
You can have the 1.14. I'll have the 1.142. This is yours.
Okay.
So you gotta go ahead and put it in your.
Okay.
You don't really have to spray a Silpat. However, these are. Now, the easiest way to do this is a pound 12 ounces. So I'm going to cut it down the middle. Get flour on my cutter. Okay. Now I have 2 of them. And now I'm going to have 4. Right there. Yeah. Hey, look at that. It's a square one. Who says you have to have round buns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I mean, we're going to make square meatloaf.
yeah. Square meatloaf. Meatloaf
Yeah.
to square.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to move that scale. The
Okay.
scale. Just pick it up. You're gonna wipe it all off. Put it. Oh, you're gonna clean it off. Over there. Sink.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Mike doesn't like his hands messy.
Ha ha ha.
Ha 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 ha.
Ain't you?
I'm hilarious.
You is yeah.
I
Yeah.
am. So I'm not really shaping these now that I realize I could do square.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my buns. I just did 8 of them. I didn't weigh them. I didn't measure them. I just cut. Sometimes people want to be too perfect in the creation of bread, when in fact, sometimes you have the ability to just be artistic and let it go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Now these guys, yep, you got that all done. Here's his loaf of bread. We're going to cover him up. There. Now they're supposed to double or triple in size, so you get that off the table, please.
Oh, yeah. No problem.
Now,
You're done with this, right?
yeah, put that back on the shelf. So, everything came out of the oven. It looks glorious. These are the buns that we made. Get really fat. Mike put his thumb in the one, so we have to eat it today. And this is, let me lower this down so you can see. This is the ham loaf. And you just wait for these clips to get a little cool, unclip them. And then you just pull this out. Ooh.
You know, I still got my mittens.
You still have your mittens, you silly kitten.
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah. So it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I think I could have actually doubled this to make it fatter.
And what's that one?
This is ham loaf, so it's just ham, eggs, dried breadcrumbs, and Dijon mustard.
Huh.
So I'm going to let it cool some. I'm not going to cut it now, but you'll see it when I plate it up. But I just wanted you to see that we got the buns done and we got the ham loaf done. And I got green beans cooking on the stove. And we'll be back when I can plate something up. So, everything came out of the oven. It looks glorious. These are the buns that we made. Get really fat. Mike put his thumb in the one, so we have to eat it today.